University. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Aksar Tariq, back with day 4 of CyberSecTober 2021. This is a week-long, actually 2 weeks long effort that we've put in to talk about Cybersecurity Awareness Month that is celebrated globally in October. We've been running sessions for the last 3 days thanks to our valuable partners, which includes the CISO Forum Pakistan, Comtel, Trend Micro, and Titanium by Rapid Compute. And today, is an important day for us, not just, personally, because it's a topic close to my heart, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. It needs to take place in the boardroom. It needs to take place in small and large enterprises if we are to progress and make a more comprehensive discussion on what the cybersecurity landscape looks like, whether it's for students, whether it's for educators, whether it's for the industry, or whether it's for an inclusive tomorrow. So with this, I'd just like to quickly welcome all of you to CyberSecTober 2021, a comprehensive series of talks, panels, masterclasses, making it one of the most focused compendium of sessions on cybersecurity in Pakistan. We've all seen the gender imbalance in not just the field of cybersecurity, but many other fields. And there are lots of initiatives that have locally, of course, come about that aim to get more and more women involved. We'll hear about some of those initiatives. We'll hear about some of the causes that women sitting here with me are championing within and outside of their organizations at a larger industry level. Our moderator for the Intelligence Insights panel today will be Sana Zahra Ahmed from Titanium. And we were just talking about, whether universities ke paas jana chahiye, educators ke paas jana chahiye, industry ke paas jana chahiye. So there are lots of course, loopholes, but if we look at loopholes as an opportunity for growth and for areas where all of us can contribute our knowledge and insights, I think we will be able to make a difference at some level, if at all. I'll hand it over to Sana to briefly introduce herself, and then we'll move on to the Intelligence Insights panel with our fantastic women leaders here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aksa, and thank you all who are here as our panelists and all those who are watching us right here in this panel. I'm Sana Zahra Ahmed. Like Aksa said, I'm the Associate Vice President of Titanium, which is the managed SOC division of Rapid Compute. I've been associated with the cybersecurity now for the past around 5 years. And we're excited because yet again, from this panel, what we're looking to see is how all of these great women who are with us, how have they've achieved growth in their careers, how have they progressed, and what do we have for people or for women specifically who are looking forward to join this path. So if I could have like a quick round of introductions. We'll start with Khola.
So thank you for inviting me, Aksa and Sana. Well, I have been working in the cybersecurity industry for the past 4 years. I've been working as an application security analyst for different financial institutes, and I am running a community called SheSec Pakistan, which is working for women empowerment in the field of cybersecurity. So that's just about it. A brief intro.
Good to have you here, Paula. Samina?
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me to this forum, which is like wholesome, full of females. Happy to see everyone sparking. Samina Rizwan, I'm in the enterprise architecture region of HBL. Have been in the industry for the past 25 years, and a long story, but very short. Yes, it was tough. It is still tough to being a female and to break the barriers across the boards. And we'll have a lot to talk about in this session. Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Sabina. Kiran?
Hi, my name is Kiran, and I'm working as an IT auditor in Acclusions, and also I'm a co-founder of STEM-based organization called Rahnuma. I have been working in industry for the past 20 years. Initially from the IT industry, then I moved into auditing industry, and currently I am establishing cybersecurity auditing section in different organizations as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran. Sarish?
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and thank you for this invitation today. My name is Sarish, and I have been associated with this industry of cybersecurity since past 11 plus years. A part of it, I am the board member for the Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry for their committee at cybersecurity, and I lead the women section over there as well. A part of it, I'm the board of experts at CGSS, And currently, we have introduced one of the chapter as well, and we have introduced the VICES, which is Women in Cybersecurity Pakistan chapter here in the Asia region. And a part of it, recently, I've been nominated as a forensic expert panel in the Sindh Police as well. So that's a brief introduction of mine.
Yes, and we look forward to hearing about all of these experiences. Fatma Khalid.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Fatma Khalid, and I just recently graduated in Information Security MS. And for the past 1.5 years, I've worked in research, but now I've moved on to the corporate side and working as an assistant consultant at Grexo Consulting for less than a year. I think I'm the least experienced one here around, but I'll do my best to share my insight and knowledge, and I'm hoping to gain a lot from you guys. Thank you.
So we'll have like a fresh perspective into the panel, so that's good.
Yeah, hello everyone. This is Siba. Basically, I'm working as a manager GRC in UBL recently, and I have a total experience of about 5 years, and been associated with the financial institution throughout the banking sector as well. And I have a multiple domain experience like incident management and software development especially, and then moved, it was a pleasure moving into cybersecurity finally, and then spent almost 3+ years in cybersecurity. So this was almost right. Thanks for inviting me.
I agree. Sorry. I agree. You know, the field is so dynamic and so diverse that, you know, you just don't want to leave it once you enter it.
It's still more to come.
Absolutely. Asna.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Mashallah, you guys are amazing women in cybersecurity. So my name is Asna Javed, and I'm working as a lead developer advocate and a hybrid cloud build team leader for IBM in Pakistan. Since 2020, I started working in the area of application security and cloud security. And one of my goals is to actually, you know, encourage developers to adapt security while developing their applications and be mindful of, you know, data security and application security. So, yeah.
Security by design. Yeah, perfect. Sabine. Okay. So Yes, Sabine, go ahead.
Thank you, sir, very much for inviting me. I have 8 years of experience in IT, where I used to actually head the infrastructure team, and then I moved to the cybersecurity field, where I have a experience in working in SOC, application infrastructure, and cloud security. Now I'm currently working in Sama Bank as a head IT security. I'm leading the security team there at Sama Bank.
Wonderful. So welcome again to all of you. So we're going to start off with a very fundamental question. I think one thing that all of us have faced is a question mark. You know, should women do this? Should women not do this? And I really want you to talk about in the field of cybersecurity, what sort of roles have you seen women play, and what sort of diversity have we seen with women in cybersecurity? So if we could start off with Samina.
Yes, thank you, Sana. Thank you for giving me the chance to talk. See, the point is that being females, we should, first of all, not think that we are females. And that's the first thing that I was taught about ever since I was a child. And it is not just this part of the world, it is all across the globe. If you see, there are very less females in almost every field. It's not just cybersecurity. So let's not feel a bit shy about it that, oh, it's in Pakistan and we don't have females. Thinking about cybersecurity, if you see the ratio and the percentage of people, may it be men or women, it's always far less. Because being in cybersecurity, it's an extra effort and extra courage that you need to gain and put inside your persona. Because when you come to cybersecurity, I'm not a specialist, by the way, but whenever I think of cybersecurity, I have to think like a criminal. And let's face it, in the cybersecurity field, everyone has to have that eye of a criminal. And this is one of the reasons that I can come across that why don't females participate in this whole consortium, because they are I don't say that they're less criminal. They could think criminally, but they do have to have that courage to think about in the wrong way. You have to place yourself. So like Serish, she's in, mashallah, I'm impressed that she's in the police department, and she would be working very closely to the police. And what she would see as a psychoanalyst, as a psychopathologist, psychologist in the world, they have to behave like those criminals. So all the policemen, they have to behave like criminals so that they can, be ahead of them. Because cybersecurity is nothing, it's just gearing up. You have to be ahead of what the other counterparty is thinking. So there are multiple ways. Being a female, you and I'm like past my career, it's like 25 years, but all the young females which are available, and they are putting their efforts, putting their time, putting their, their brains in whatever field they are, it is that they should teach their colleagues, teach their children. Being a female is not a taboo. Being a female, being a girl in the society, it's something that you should be proud of, because at the end of the day, we do a whole lot than males do. They do not raise kids. They do not look after the household. They do not look after the groceries, anything, but we do it all. And if we do anything beyond this, it's extracurriculars. Whatever you have done, whatever you aim to do in future, please ingrain it, put it in your DNA, and stop thinking that you're a female. Just think that you are a citizen, you are a participant in the whole ecosystem, and whatever your efforts would be are going to be thought through, and don't feel that you're a female. It's a stigma. So I have crossed all these barriers. I was taught and brought up in this way because, of course, I didn't have a brother. This is one more point, that it depends on the kind of family you're raised in. So if you're just two of us, my sibling and myself, both females, my mother, and that's it. So this is how we bring up our children. This is how we teach them, train them at school. So someone was talking about, the curriculum. So we hardly saw girls going up to the teachers in the university and talking about, because there were 60 people and in the classroom in my academic careers, and I had 40 boys and 20 girls, and that was the biggest consortium in the percentage of girls in NED at that time. So you can imagine in engineering college, you hardly saw any females in any department except for civil engineering. So that's putting everything aside. Learn as much as you can. Read. Put yourself ahead of time, ahead of everything, and then I don't think so anything is like tough. Things become far more simple.
Absolutely, I agree. And even for those people who are just making comments or anything, once they hear you out and once they actually see the technical knowledge and the grounds are solid on the basis of which you're talking, then they don't say anything after that. It's a learning point for them too. Serish, if I could turn to you, I want to talk, because you've been associated with different roles and all, so you've obviously seen women also in different roles. So I want you to talk about the diversity in cybersecurity and what really the diversity brings in the various exposures that you've had.
Right. So first of all, I would like to clarify that right now I am heading information security in one of the organization. And I have an honorary role by the Karachi police as the forensic expert. I would like to, clarify that. So you see, I want to share my experience when I came into this industry. Initially, when I recall back in 2010 and back in 2011, I barely see any girl in IT, especially in IS, that is information security, right? Like it was something where, we just see one or two women around, and initially when I started my career and I joined one of the banking organizations, so we were, that batch of girls who just joined that organization, and the people had, there was no policy related to the females. and things like that. So it was too, I'm talking about that time, which was too earlier. At that time, there was no concept of information security and cybersecurity, and gradually we were the ones who were just a single resource or two in the information security department, and time it's like that. Okay, gradually and slowly we see the progress in the information security, plus the mindsets as well, right? In the mindsets as well, a gradual change in the culture as well. I'm talking about the professional culture. So when we experienced all these things from time to time, and we see a maturity in information security as well, and then there came a time when we saw that, when we witnessed that information security was enforced at global level. So when it was enforced at the global level, and when we at the global market as well, then we saw the professionals, and we saw the encouragements, and we saw a career progression in cybersecurity as well. If I talk about the women in cybersecurity, and if I talk about the diversity, I recently went through a report by the ISC Square, right? And that analysis was that was about the matrix for the gender gap. And according to that report and that study, what I saw in that report, and it was quite interesting, was that 52% of the postgraduate degree holders in cybersecurity, they belong to, they are the females, right? So there was a study and that portrayed that 52% of the population in the cybersecurity, and those who belong, the females, they have that postgraduate degrees in cybersecurity. And then again, if I see that 7% of the women globally right now are at the C level, while 9% of the women right now are the VPs, right? If you see that a total population where, we are in the society where men and women are just have to balance themselves, and they are portrayed as the two tires of a car, right? A car cannot move without having the balance, right? And in that society, we are just experiencing 7% women in the leadership, 9% as the VP. So you see, this mindset needs to be changed. And how we can, do this participation of women, in leadership needs an encouragement. And how we can do that? We can only do that if we have that mindsets, because if there is no more change in the mindset of the axos and the senior management, how we as the women can be encouraged to come in the seniority, come in the CX level, come in the leaderships. So there are certain initiatives as well, which I am going to have an insight in this session later on, when we are going to discuss about the initiatives as well, that how we as a professional, as a citizen of Pakistan, taking certain steps at national level and international levels for the boom of that industry, and for the boom of, especially for the women in cybersecurity, what we are taking, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Suresh, for that. I'm going to actually build on a point that you mentioned, that the representation is very less, and I think that is because it's a correlated thing. While women have to prove, or anyone for that matter, have to prove their capability and all, the management's mindset also needs to change accordingly, right? And this is where we've also seen organization, or many organizations, like I work for an organization where we have practically a woman leading every technical department. And right. And that's because there's a correlation, because we've come that far, that we've had women for quite some time now, and we've come that far in the chain. But I also now want to turn to Paula, And Hola has been working a lot on building the capacities and the education and the skill set of women. So Hola, can we hear from you about that?
Well, definitely. Basically, what we are doing, or what I came up with, or where the ideas came from, was we did notice in few of the conferences that were being held on the national level that there was a lack of women representation on the platforms, right? So there were two parts. One, the women were not stepping up for that thing. The second part, they were not being recognized for that thing. So these are two different parts that we had to work on. So we had to enable the women to be able to step up for the representation, and on the same time we have to have a platform where we can recognize such women who are actually working in the industry, and they're working very beautifully in the industry, and they need recognition and they have to be recognized for that fact. So we came up with this community that I just mentioned earlier, which is SheSec Pakistan. So we have actually two parts here, where we are conducting different workshops and different hands-on trainings for the technical perspective to enable the women who are actually trying to get into the field, or basically who have just joined the field and at the beginner level and need a boost to get ahead of it. And the second part is that we are using that platform to recognize the women who are actually in the field. We're running this thing called Women Wednesday. We're on each Wednesday, we are recognizing the women who have been working in the field of cybersecurity, and we are giving shout outs to them. So that's where basically we are putting in our efforts to make the society better.
Perfect, perfect. We've been following that a lot. There's some very good efforts put in there. Asna, may I just turn to you? And I want to know that, you're a part of an international organization. And so what efforts at the international domain do they put in for building the careers in general, and also specifically about women, that you see that there's something that, we could also bring to Pakistan and have that culture here in Pakistan, or it could be even prevalent in Pakistan already, but what are those measures?
Thank you so much, Sana. That's a very interesting question. And what I have noticed throughout my years in IBM is that IBM and international organizations, they bring in diversity and inclusion, which is very important. We need to be more focused on bringing in female employees. There's a huge hiring gap. Even in Pakistan, I have noticed that. And then it also depends upon the culture. So it depends on the country. When I joined IBM here in Pakistan, there was like a perspective around me that, oh, she's a girl, so she won't be like technically very strong. And that was like, and then while I was working with other regions and other countries within the region, I realized that this culture is within Pakistan and not in those countries. And it made me think and realize that, okay, this has to change, right? So, because you are a female, it doesn't mean that you cannot be technically strong, right? Diversity is very, very important. And by diversity, I don't mean just because you're bringing in a team of 10 members and there's one female and you say, oh, this is a diversity. No, you need to bring in people from different backgrounds and different knowledge, and they have different strengths. So you need to make sure that you bring in all those people. So yeah, we need to change that culture, and organizations like IBM and other international organizations, they are really focused on this to bring in diversity and inclusion, whether it's in technology, whether it's in cybersecurity, whether it's in any of the development role. You really need to bring up your game, because I feel like women are more good in multitasking than men. So if you give them more projects, they'll be working on multiple projects, and they would be even more efficient. They'll bring in a sense that, okay, they will create these processes and these flows that can be implemented on multiple projects at the same time. So yeah, bringing in women is very, very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even we've noticed, the level of concentration that some women can put into the job, when you want something very specifically done, it's amazing, the results that can come out. I'm gonna turn to Kiran now. And Kiran, I want you to highlight a little that, along the way, obviously you're a very experienced person, and you must have had obviously some challenges along the way. So how did you go about overcoming them? Some maybe something that all of us can learn from.
Yes, definitely. Since my beginning of the career, I started in IT operations, and as most of you all spoken, that seeing a female working in IT is like seeing something you have never seen before. And I was talking about like 2001 and 2, where hardly whenever I was attending any conference, the speaker has to say lady and gentlemen. So it was that time, and to the time now I see so many females, and it is so good to see them. But I think over the period, that one thing that I learned is that we as a female actually judge ourselves that we are not capable of doing IT. If we are doing IT, we are not capable of doing cybersecurity somehow. We think that it is not our mindset that can actually act as some adversary that we need to tackle. So first thing is this, in my experience, I learned that I need to overcome my fears before I can challenge the society, challenge the rules, or set a path for others to follow. So one thing that I have done is that I have always kept myself challenging. And whenever I see a challenge, it's like it is for me. So every woman, I'm also acknowledged and encourage them that they should keep seeing new different dimension in their work. If they entered in application development, they should not only keep themselves locked that they only know how to code. They should learn security. They should learn how to activate things, how to deactivate, how to protect, how to attack. This is the mindset we all as a female needs to nurture. Second, that what I have learned is that initially when they were all men industry, I used to remember I used to get an invitation and it was like Mr. Kiran, and I always like, why people has to write Mr. I miss, why is their problem? So over the period I learned that it is very difficult for them to acknowledge as well. So what they need to see is that you need to show your work, you need to show what your capabilities are. If I have things in my mindset, I know I can do operationally, I know I can run solutions, but if I am not showing them, it means that they won't be able to have the courage or the understanding to push me or to give me other challenges. So one thing is this, we need to end our self-doubt. Second thing is we need to show our skill set, what we have. And third, what we need is a support partner. A support can be from female to female. A support can be a male that can actually advocate you to, as we were speaking, that I was recently being marked as Tech Woman in 2020-21 as an emerging leader, and we were studying the global patterns of women in leadership. And the total workforce that is actually required in cybersecurity and in working is like 6-7% in international market as well. So there is a big gap in their market, and in our market it's even 0.1 or 0.2%, I would say, because the total labor force that reported by the World Bank is 22%. So 22% of the females are actually working, and in IT it is lesser ratio, and even in cybersecurity I think it's maybe very few, you can count them on your finger. So second thing, the last thing I say, that you need to find those support people that actually understand you, that supports you, and that actually advocate you and move you to the C level. Because moving to the C level doesn't require only skill. You need to have a lobby. Don't take it negatively, because when we talk about something, we always think it is a negative thing. There is always a positive in and every negative. So you need to create different lobbies if you want to move up to a level of C level, higher management level. Then people needs to talk about you, they need to push you, they need to advocate you. So you need to partner with those people. So just saying that men does not understand is not going to help us. It's not even helping us now. So we need to show our skill, we need to make them understand. That's how you progress actually. I remember one instance where we were showing off that we have developed certain a dashboard of different issues and different data set. So the person who we were presenting were the senior leadership, and they were asking, how many dashboard do you have? And I was like, it means that things has its worth. It's people who needs to be shown, and once they are shown, they get addicted to it. Then they want more. Then they want more. So that's what we as a female needs to do. We not only need support from a female co-workers or in the same working group, but we need male support as well if we want to move up on the ladder or even learn how to move in those corridors, which we normally call power corridors. Because somehow I feel that there is always a red taping at different points, and we need to break that red taping. And to break that, you need to have courage on yourself that you have the right skill and you can do it. Thank you.
I just want to add up here a couple of things. Like Kiran said that she was referred as Mr. Kiran. So Kiran, your name is a unisex name, right? And here the bias comes in. Even my name is a unisex name. So if it's a unisex name, they naturally assume that it would be a man's name, right? So there is the bias there, and we need to break that bias. And another fun thing that Kiran said, that we need to show our skills. This is something that I learned during my fellowship with LinkedIn in California, that they taught me, and that was really new for me, is like, if you have achieved something, right, it doesn't have to be something big. Like if you have done something, go ahead and talk about it, because that is what you're doing. You're stating the facts, you're not showing off. And a lot of females, you know, they are so scared to, you know, go ahead and talk about their skills or their achievements. It doesn't have to be something big or huge. You don't have to be an award winner person, right? Even if you have done something small, you need to talk about it. But we feel like if we will do that, we are showing off, or, you know, what people will think. But honestly, you're just simply stating the facts. So go ahead and show your skills. And that's how you can, you know, get that visibility in the industry.
Absolutely, very good advice.
Sorry, Sana, just to add one thing.
Go ahead.
Like Asna was saying that we should show, definitely. The one thing that I have encountered over a period of time, I have coached and mentored many females under me, along my side. But what I have found that they are always afraid of failure. We should not be afraid of failure. Do you think every successful person become successful without getting a failure? No, we should encourage ourselves to accept our failures, because they actually the learning lies. Success does not teach you anything. Failures teaches you everything. So one thing is also important, that we should encourage female to take risk, and if they fail, they will definitely fail at some point. I have failed so many times. I remember I had to do different projects and I was unable to achieve on that time, but I learned from that, and the next time I actually excel in that thing and moved on to next thing. So definitely failure has a role, and we need to move forward if we want to achieve something. Thank you.
I absolutely agree. I mean, this is something, when we were, I'm just going to give an example. When we were starting off this InfoSec division at Rapid Compute, and the first thing we wanted to launch was a local cloud-based SOC solution, but it was something that we didn't have a precedence there locally. And this is yet again the comfort level that the management gave, that, you know, yes, we know what you're working on. All of you're working on, you're doing your proper research of your, like, you know, all of the different, the companies that we met some internationally and all. We did all of that research. And then when we would work out a plan that, you know, this is what seems the best way forward here, there was an immense support coming in from behind that, you know, even if it doesn't work, fair enough. But since this is what you think is best, go ahead. And this is a collective approach, I feel, that also makes the community do better. So I completely agree that, you know, from everyone's hearts and minds, you have to take that fear out of it, because if you're sure that you've done everything diligently and you've weighed out all the pros and cons and you're moving ahead with something, well, that's the best. If it doesn't work at some point, you'll learn from that mistake and then you not do that next time. No, so this is actually very good. Hiba, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to ask that what sort of support element did you get from the society and all? Because I think one thing all of us agree on, or should agree on rather, is that the fact that we are here means that we have been getting a lot of support from society in different ways. So what are the people who helped you out? And, you know, if anyone is looking for support, what are the ways that they can get them?
I would say in my career I have experience of 4 organizations, and out of 4, I've been working with the 2 women as my lead. So that was all the support I'm getting. And I was very fortunate to work with the 2 great ladies as a lead. I would say lucky to work with the 2 ladies as my lead in out of 4 of my managers. So there was a lot of support, but there's a myth also. We are unfortunate in such way that people say that she's a girl, she's a woman, she must not be technical. So don't go to the networking side and all that. It must be restricted to the documentation and such things. So these were the things which I used to face as well. But I would say we must believe in ourselves that we can do anything. There is no such thing that a woman can't do. So we need to believe in ourselves first. Then there comes the support again from the other side as well. But we should do things for ourselves first, right? There are such societies like Hall is working and the Sarish is working to build and to back up women in and to show all their skills and the technical skills. So there are a lot coming in our way.
Absolutely. We're going to come to Sarish for voices, but I just need to turn to Fatma first. Fatma, you know, you mentioned that you've freshly graduated a year out into the professional side. And what I want to know is that, you know, from your perspective, you know, what is it that you're looking for in terms of, you know, how things have been, let's say, easy, and how things, what are the things that you seek that, you know, you wish you were there to help you out with all the support mechanism?
Well, first of all, I was lucky to be able to, you know, get an internship at the consulting firm before my MS wrapped up. Most of the girls aren't so lucky about that. There are quite many, I know a couple of girls who want to shift to cybersecurity, but they are not aware of the, you know, resources, and they cannot afford further education. So I think this is one of the things that many of us face, that you don't need a degree. Like, I have done a degree, and I'm telling you that it is not necessary for you to do a degree to be able to shift in cybersecurity. There are a lot of free resources out there, but people are not aware of that. So I also want to, you know, use my platform and try to spread as much knowledge for the free resources that are there out there. And regarding challenges, I have been lucky to have, you know, a supporting, you know, boss, quite supporting me in the aspect of my career. So it's not like that he wants to limit me to specific projects. He knows that I have the skills. It doesn't matter if I'm a girl or not. So he's, you know, happily exposing me to pen testing projects and GRC projects and everything like that. But I don't think everyone is lucky like that. So I hope I can, you know, do something to help girls to, you know, guide them. That it may be challenging, but you just need to know where to look, because most of the people don't know where to look, where to find the resources, how to connect. Personal branding is a big thing, and I think many of the girls especially are not aware of that.
So yes, Sana, just a very important point that I'd like to highlight here is that the organizations, especially the corporate industry, which is definitely tough to penetrate into, it also depends largely upon the organization. How do they behave towards diversity? So if you talk of HBL and UBL especially, these are two huge banks in the country, and their main focus is on inclusion and diversity. And they started from the level of internships. So just as Fatma mentioned, it's how we plan, how we craft the programs for fresh graduates. And recently, like, we hired, say, 2025 female interns in the bank. And this is how we are going to increase the number, because it's far less, still too less. But we hardly see at not at all at the sea level, but even one below or two notches below the sea level, you hardly see any females. So let's start growing them up from bottom up. So if you have forums, if you have communities, if you have consortiums, and like the CXO forum, it's good to sponsor. See, whenever you talk about something, yes, of course, free courses, free online, coaching is available. But when it comes to material, you have to rely on certain resources. And this is how the CXO media and the CIO forums, they can help out to nurture and bring the fresh graduates. And there's a link, there has to be a link between, the demand and supply. So the supply is the university and the demand is from the market. So you have to create that, bridge the gap. There's a huge gap. So everyone, all of us have graduated from universities. And of course, if we know somebody somewhere, your seniors are there, your cousins are there, your relatives are there, your friends and family, they connect you to some place in the professional organizational infrastructure. But if you do not have that, you're lost. So this is exactly how Fatma was explaining, that we have to create that gapping and bridging mechanism between the academics and the practical world that we enter into, if we do. So the internship is that model that models you and makes you ready and prepared for the upcoming tasks that you take as a professional. So it's something that needs to be grown. And you and I, everyone has to participate. So if I know 3 people, I have to, put in place this marketing and tell the fresh graduates to apply more and more in the intern programs. That's one important point. The other is, yes, you must have heard that if you can't beat them, join them. So stop thinking about that. Who would definitely think what you're saying, what you're not saying? Just do it. Move straight forward, just like a tunnel vision. It would seem like a tunnel vision, but don't look around you. Just keep moving and producing some practical, tangible, deliverables. Deliverable is something that every CXO wants to see. That's all about it. Even if you're a male, you just must notice that at the end of the day, all the boss wants is a deliverable, a tangible deliverable. And one more thing, master whatever you want. Just not a jack of all. Please master whatever you want. And if you want to shift this mastery, do it. So I was an applications engineer, a hardcore PCB designer. I never knew anything about software. So I was placed in San Jose, and that was that was my first job, designing circuit boards. But today I'm an enterprise architect, and I'm far beyond what I learned and I studied. So in all these years, I made 3 major shifts in my career. Do not hesitate to shift your career. It could be project management, it could be cybersecurity. You guys are in security. Please feel free to what you love. If you love something, if you have a passion, just move on. That's something I wanted to add.
Thank you, Samina. This is definitely great advice. And next question is for Sarish, because I really wanted to talk about the new Vices Pakistan affiliate that we have for women. But then after that, the way Samina has shared experiences and her learnings from her exposure and experience, I'm going to ask everyone to share what they've learned and what advice do they have for other women around. Okay, so Sarish, first Vices, please.
Thank you, Sana, for this wonderful question, because this is something that I really wanted to highlight, especially in this CyberSecTober, where all the great females and great leaders and everyone on the board as well. So basically, what we were doing as an individual and at an international level was that we tried to bring something in Pakistan as well, where we can promote females, especially in cybersecurity, right? So we were exploring different forums and how because there was one of the forum which is called which is introduced by Isaka, which is the She Leads Tech, right? So that is also one of the forum where, professionals, especially the females, they are promoting themselves through that channel as well. But we wanted something particularly for the cybersecurity as well. So last year I was invited by the Women in Cybersecurity Middle East and then by the Canada as well, and they wanted me to introduce this Pakistan chapter as well. So I've worked with some of the great professionals and great leaders in cybersecurity here in Pakistan. And again, there were some of the male leaders as well who backed me up and who came with us and who really helped us a lot. And we, alhamdulillah, we successfully launched that Women in Cybersecurity Pakistan chapter or Pakistan affiliate. So right now in South Asia, if I see that this chapter is being introduced at India, this chapter is being introduced at the Middle East, at Canada, at USA, and now alhamdulillah at Pakistan as well. We are the co-founders of that International Women in Cybersecurity Pakistan affiliate. That chapter is basically, or that forum is basically one of that international forum which is bringing wonders for the professionals, especially who belong to cybersecurity. They are targeting more towards the female professionals, but they're not only limited to the females. They are promoting the male professionals in cybersecurity as well. And what the most prominent, or the most prominent features or the most prominent attractions that it gives us: the access to the global resources, the access to the global scholarships, and the speaking opportunities, and then the call for the career fairs and job boards, and diversified networking opportunity as well. Anyone who becomes the member of the Vices Pakistan affiliate, they got a very wonderful discounted rates as well, which is as compared to the other countries. They are offering us in a very little amount. And you just become the member of that Vices Pakistan affiliate, and you just have the access of their portal, which is just like a Facebook to use, right? So it's like you just introduce yourself in a very friendly application of Vices, and you just start interacting with all over the global entities and all over the global resources as well. Whatever the technical knowledge basis, if you want the technical knowledge basis, this is also available there in the community as well. If you want to have the security trainings, if you want to have the security scholarships in any part of the world, Vices is here to support you. It's providing a wonderful opportunity platform, especially for the females, to have the scholarships as well, to have the grants as well, and to have the opportunity to attend the international global cybersecurity conferences as well. So right now what I have seen is that there were that conference just took place at Denver, and there were too many professionals all around the globe, but there was no more Pakistani there. Why? Because we just had jumped in up, and we're just preparing for the females and for the other professionals as well to come and join us for they bring you the calls for the volunteers as well, the calls for the mentorship programs, and then the student community and the professional community as well. So if there is, there are the students as well who wants to join the Vices Pakistan affiliate, they have the wonderful opportunity to join there as in the student community, where they are going to interact with the professional community. They are going to have the free trainings. So, you see, there are too many steps to bridge the gap as well, right? So this is what we are doing, and one of my perspective of is that I had been into the cybersecurity training since last 4 to 5 years back. I started the started the cybersecurity trainings as well. Why? Because there was no more training training opportunity which was given to the professionals, especially in this area of SOC, which is more towards the detection of cyber attacks. So I started that training. Why? Because I was not getting any resource to hire in my team, right? So I was really too much surprised that there is too many dirt, especially in that area where the technicalities fall. So I started that training as well. And from that chapter and from the other chapters as well, and with the collaboration of many universities in Pakistan, like FAST and NED and the other universities as well, we are promoting this platform. And we are trying to encourage more and more females, more and more professionals to join and to bring Pakistan somewhere where, you know, we can really introduce Pakistan at some level, that yes, these are the efforts, these are the international efforts that we are bringing up and that we are taking up as well. So this is the Voices Pakistan affiliate chapter, where you know, too many wonderful ladies from all around the Pakistan, different, like we have the representation from the audit, we have the representation from the banking industry, we have the representation from the international IBM as well in this right now in this platform. So this is the wonderful place where, you know, we can really attract it, or you know, trying to address what Voices really is. So that's a little effort from our end, where we are trying to bridge the gap for, you know, bringing up the academia plus the industry as well, to bridge that gap of, you know, having some sort of technical skills in cybersecurity. Plus, we are also trying to empower ladies or empower females as well to promote cybersecurity, not locally, but at global forum as well. Because this is one of the forum where, you know, you just want to have some resources for AWS security. You just have that platform, you just log in there and you just get wonderful resources regarding the AWS security. And then you can have a wonderful free of cost trainings as well. And if you really want to, you know, be some sort of speaker as well over the time, and you get some things in your hand, you can have the wonderful opportunity as a call for the speakers, as a call for scholarships and whatnot. So this is something really wonderful that's bringing here in Pakistan as well.
I know. So really, I think it really goes back to the point, like for instance, Sabina mentioned and all of the like others mentioned that networking, the importance of networking. You know, you have to like build your network in order to find out yourself as well where is it that you can contribute, and even learn from your network the opportunities that may arise where you might be able to connect. So Sabine, may I turn to you and may I ask you, in terms of network, for someone who's looking to, you know, fresh into the field, looking to building a network, even progressing further, what are some of the tips for building the networks for someone who's not already connected and growing their path forward?
Okay, first of all, I apologize. My camera is actually playing up and it's not working. I wanted to say that I agree what Ms. Samina said, that there is a diversity not only in the cybersecurity, but also in the IT field as well. So there are lesser women that comes in the IT field. And so cybersecurity is obviously a specialized field. And obviously you need to have a technical experience to gain into, to move into the different domains of the cybersecurity field, like application security or infrastructure security or in SOC. So if you want to build yourself, your technical skills, you need to find a mentor. So, you know, mentoring helps women get insight into professional and personal growth opportunities. You need to participate in networking and conference events, and, you know, so that you can enhance and expand your network, and also invest in your training. There are a lot of IC Square and ISACA training as well. And if you want to go to the, if your CV wants to go to the hiring table, you need to actually work on all this certification. You need to improve yourself. Even if you cannot go for the specialized certification, which are very difficult, just go for the basic first. Try to understand the whole, you know, the background of it. Get into the internship program, because as Samina also said, HBL and UBL is working more on the diversity, and they are accepting more female in the internship programs. And I also I really like what Sarish said about her WSS program, what she's been offering to all the females about how they can enter into the scholarship program and all that. So I think so there are many females which are actually graduated right now, and they're looking forward to have these kind of programs. So I think so I will connect Sarish with all of them so that they can get inside of all this.
Sarish was looking to hear that, right, Sarish?
I was actually looking for that. Thank you.
Right.
And by the way, one thing, I was also called Mr. Sabine Siddiqui because I was the only female in IT.
Yeah, so I think we can sort of the way I think initially all of us who were the first steppers in our environments or in the initial steppers, we try to forgive these little mistakes and try to just go forward. So educating, of course, educating the others all the same, that one day they'll be ready to call like Miss so and so and all of that. But so it's been good to have everyone. The winding thoughts. We're going to start with Paula, and one by one, what advice do you have for women in cybersecurity? Anything?
Well, the advice goes by the seniority level. Like if you're a beginner or if you're an intermediate, you need to put your struggles. You need to work for what you're learning. Just learn it, just do it, just prove yourself. It's not specific to women, but anybody who's getting into the field of cybersecurity. So there are two parts. There is the part where we call it GRC, which is more into documentation, and the other part is of technical stuff. So you need to put in efforts to learn, to go by it, and just do not lose your focus in the daily routines. And when you're in the intermediate to senior level, you need to have a good networking sense, and you have to you need to actually self-market yourself to know, to let the people know what you're doing and how you're doing. So that's about it.
Yes, absolutely. Samina?
Just as a closing note, I would say we should stop treating ourselves as females, just as I said before. Because the moment, we have to stop treating ourselves, and it's just a matter of being human beings. And human beings are of all kinds. You find them in men and women both. Just believe in yourself, and once again, wind and unwind yourself, learn and unlearn. And a bit of an advice that being a female, we have a retrospective mind. We have got a wired brain. It's not a box brain. So I keep on remembering that video. It was a hilarious video, that women have a wired brain. It's like a internet network across underwater cables. We need to help our counterparts. So the moment we start being empathetic towards them, you will receive the equivalent behavior from their side. So stop thinking that you're a female and that the other one is a male. Just think that they are colleagues, they're friends, those people need our help. So if you start helping them, you master whatever you know, they will start relying on you. So the moment they start relying on you, this is your success. And that's just stop treating you like a female. Thanks.
Absolutely. I think, and this is like a positive change. We start seeing, like we witness across many good organizations, and the other ones are also learning. And so this is what's really promoting the women-oriented culture in all of the fields. I mean, not just cybersecurity, but all across. Fatma?
Yes, I'll just add on Samina's point that as girls, we are most prone to imposter syndrome. So we need to remind ourselves constantly that it is not about us being girl, and we can also excel in technical fields. And also I'll add on Sabine's point that we need to attend more forums and conferences like this. And that is how we come across the people in the community and resources like WISES is doing, providing free resources. Unless you attend these forums and conferences and you network, you will not come against these kind of resources and people and able to build yourself a network and community like that. So I guess everyone says that, but you need to, especially if you're a beginner in cybersecurity, you need to get down to the networking part of the cybersecurity because it is a closed community. People know each other. So that's all
True.
from my side.
And at this moment, it's also a community that's learning based on the network, right? Like we mentioned, the universities are just catching up. So your network is the place where you learn from eventually. Asna?
Yes, definitely.
Well, my advice would be for those who are already in cybersecurity in a leadership role, right? Be the mentors for young generation. And for those who are, interested to learn more about cybersecurity or build their career there, I would say find allies, whether they're men or women or whoever. Just, make sure that you have some mentors, some allies to support you, and go for it. Either you'll make it or you'll learn something. So just go for it.
Absolutely. Hiba?
Well, I came across this really great lines that careers have no gender and the success has no limit. So try harder, try everything, and fail in a better way. So do not benchmark your success. Just keep learning, keep moving. Do not think about what others of you. Just explore different things, different field, in different try getting into different domains. Right, and I have such kind of advice for the professionals as well, just like Asna said, to motivate the others, and to, if you're already in a professional career, just to motivate the young girls and the young generation to be part of it, cybersecurity, and play your part, since the threat landscape is moving in evolving day by day. So we just need more young blood as well. So just keep working hard and stay focused. That what my advice would be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kiran?
Yes, my advice would be to prepare a USP for yourself, a unique selling proposition for yourself. Whether you are a newcomer, you are working in the industry, you have lots of experience. Once you have a USP, you will excel. And once you those who have a USP needs to become now a brand. Make yourself a brand so other females can look towards you, even males can look towards you. Not necessarily, I have been getting requests from males how to advise, how to process their career, how to move towards that. So be a brand of yourself. And one last thing, that attach yourself to a mentor. That mentor will help you, guide you through the difficulties you may encounter or may not encounter. And with the help of that mentor, you will be able to excel more than rather trying and learning from your own experience. That's what I have learned. If I had the experience or the mentorship at that level, I might had been excelled a lot better than what I am doing right now. So do attach yourself to a mentor.
Absolutely. I mean, mentors have they're like a catalyst in your life. If you have a good mentor on board, then the way you can learn and then contribute back, it just excels forward. All of it. Serish?
Yeah, so most of the things, I mean, this forum has already highlighted, but one thing that I would really want you to highlight is to keep, motivated yourself and to be confident. If you're no more confident enough, then, excelling in cybersecurity in this field, it's very difficult. So you have to be very confident, whatever you are, this is the ladder of success. You have to be confident and you have to be self-determined. If you're really confident and self-determined on your tasks and on your skills, then you are really going to have a success one day.
Absolutely. Sabine?
I just wanted to add here that you need to ensure that you have the support, skills, and confidence available to excel in this cybersecurity field. Being a technical is not a rocket science. You can improve yourself by going through different courses and forums, and ensure that you are the most successful female, comparing yourself with other males and in a cybersecurity field.
Absolutely. Thank you everyone for joining the panel today. We've had some great insights, some great experiences shared. For all the newcomers watching, it's important to know that we already also have like good mentors out there in the cybersecurity community. You just need to find them, you just need to connect with them, and they're actually very willing to help you grow. This is one of the great things we have. So if you've ever come across, God forbid, a bad one, that's not a good general case. Generally, people are really looking forward to help. And we'll hand it over to Aksa for wind up.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sana. And thank you very much to all our panelists, not just for taking out time on a Saturday for doing this, but just sharing your insights. I was partly intimidated by all the work that all of you have done in your capacities. And I think, to me personally, and also being in this field, back when I started, I think 10 years ago, there were hardly any women we would see at conferences and other places. And I would like to humbly disagree with someone who had said, Ketni, there are not enough women working in these fields. I feel like there are a lot of women working in this field. They're just not at the forefront and we don't hear about them. So this was, to be honest, I mean, for me personally, this was a learning experience to understand all the work that's being done, all the programs that are coming to Pakistan. As a lot of you mentioned, there are global programs that are being introduced in Pakistan because of the kind of talent we have, the kind of opportunities we have. And it's really upon all of us to take on those opportunities and make the most of it. And I think, Sana, since you didn't ask me for a closing comment, my closing comment would be never be afraid to ask for help. I think that's one thing that each one of you have said, that, you've received help, whether it's through your organizations, whether it's through a network like this, whether it's through, being at events or mentorship or others. So I think my takeaway from this has also been that, just don't be afraid of asking for help. All of us are hesitant sometimes, thinking that, oh, maybe we're not in the right to ask. But I feel like, what's the worst? Someone's just going to say no. And that hardly matters. There will be more people out there, as Sana said, identify those allies, those resources, those mentors that exist around you and make the most of it. I hope that inshallah we continue to keep these dialogues going. CyberSecTober was designed to offer security insights from across Pakistan space. We were receiving some comments on Facebook as well about, oh, we didn't know that Pakistan had so many women working in cybersecurity. And, it's a good feeling for us to just, and even though, I feel like this is a small gathering, it keeps the debate open and alive on what the industry needs, where we're headed, and of course, becoming leaders in defending the workplace, of course, across the board, whether it's, as Serish mentioned, she's working with the police, someone's working with the government, someone's working in the education sector. So each one of us, even if it's a tiny role, I think all of us have that role to play. So we hope to continue the dialogue. And we hope to keep engaging with all of you. Thank you very much for taking out the time. And it was lovely to have all of you. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.